Live from the heart of Lincoln, America. Welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Say
boring.
yeah, like goal,
I mean, we started asking everyone.
we did. But then that was the one that really stuck, and we were like, you know what, let's rock with it. Let's
Yeah,
go.
there was too many we came up with, and then it just kind of bounced back and forth.
And we're like, people that don't know soccer probably aren't going to get this, but they can probably figure out that a pitch is a soccer field.
Oh
So-
yeah, I forgot. I watched a little bit of Premier League
Okay.
back in the day.
Yeah, so you're
Manchester
ready.
City.
You
Yeah,
got it.
that's my,
Yeah.
when that Sergio Aguero back in the day. That's kind of another guy hung my hat on.
Okay.
You got it.
But nonetheless, go ahead and give yourselves a little bit of the background for people who are just tuning in. And just want to know, where you're from, how you ended up in Nebraska. Are you from here originally?
Mhm.
So we'll go ahead and start with you, Sami.
Yeah, so I'm not from Nebraska. I'm from Argyle, Texas. I was born and raised there. I, played club soccer growing up. I started soccer when I was about 3, little league on the street. Yeah. And I ended up playing club when I was about 7, and I played in the field actually. So most people know I'm a goalie. And I, was always thrown in the goal as a backup growing up. But once I got to high school, my sophomore year, I ended up going in the goal, and
She's got a real talent for it. Let me say that.
it was kind of a last minute ordeal. I ended up getting thrown in the goal for like a semifinal game in a little club, tournament. It was fine. And I ended up being pretty good. Funny story, I actually handballed the ball outside the 18. It was super embarrassing. I just it was natural instinct. And all my coaches were like, wow, you are pretty natural at this. Pick it up. So that summer I decided to become a goalie, and from there I had to make my way up and get recruited. I ended up actually going and committing to Oklahoma my junior year in high school. And then there was a coaching change, and in the midst of all that happening, I decided to open up my options, and I ended up committing to Arizona. After that, I spent a year at Arizona, and I ended up entering the transfer portal, and now I'm here in Nebraska.
Okay, we'll dive into why you picked Nebraska later. But did you always want to play goalkeeper? Because I never played soccer for a long time.
Oh my
I just remember being on those pee-wee teams. I was a position you were, fighting and yelling at your coaches to not play goalkeeper. So when that kind of idea of I'm pretty damn good at this, I actually like this position kind of started coming about for you.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I actually hated the position. It was so boring. I mean, I felt like I never touched the ball. I wanted to be the show, Sarah. Whoa. I'm not going to lie. I loved the attention when you scored. And I never got it.
Hey, now you
And I
get it
was
when you
like,
save it, right?
Yeah, no, I love it now. It's a good feeling.
Oh,
Like to
just
save the
like
game,
yeah.
It's kind of fun.
Totally.
But no, I did not like it. Growing up, I got asked to go in goal because I was mostly the tallest out of the team. So when we needed a back up, they were like, "Yeah, Sammy, get in goal," and I was like, "Oh, I'll try. I'll do what I can." And then they ended up wanting to keep me in. And I was like, "No, please."
You tried too hard.
Yeah,
you tried a little less, maybe.
No, there was one game my coach sat me because I didn't want to go in, and I was 12 years old. It was horrible. Yeah, it was a good learning moment. Yeah, no, I didn't like it, and then I ended up when I got thrown in for that little tournament my freshman year in high school. I kind of started to enjoy it, and yeah, that's when I really started liking it. After that,
Surprising, you never pictured yourself as a Nebraska goalkeeper. That wasn't in your foresight.
I didn't even know Nebraska was a school. If I'm being honest.
You're not the only. I've heard that a lot with student athletes. But Sarah, we'll move on to you. Kind of your background, where you're from, how you ended up at Nebraska.
So first of all, I did know Nebraska was a school, but I am from here, from Gretna, Nebraska. So really just down the road, about a half an hour. Yeah, I grew up playing soccer. Soccer and tennis were kind of my two main sports. Always loved soccer. I got into it because I just went to my mom one day and was like, hey, like, I think some of my friends are like going to play. Like, can you put me in? Like I have 3 brothers and none of them played soccer. And so my mom was like, sure, like, why not? She ended up being my micro coach. Everyone knows that story. Oh, my parent was my coach or whatever. But yeah, growing up, soccer was kind of the thing in like our town. And then like growing up, we then went to like select ball probably in like middle schoolish. And I was like, oh, actually, like, really like the sport. I loved like the team aspect of it. In contrast to like tennis, which is individual. And then probably like 7th, 8th grade, I always knew I wanted to play college soccer, but I hadn't really like thought of like what that would look like. So like as you probably had in Gretna, we had like ID camps was kind of how I started to like first get noticed because I mean, let's be real, like Gretna isn't the biggest town in America. So it started out kind of there, and then for high school, visiting different schools, going to their ID camps, so actually traveling there. And I didn't actually want to go to Nebraska. I wanted to go far, but I thought if I did stay here, I would go to Creighton because that's where my mom graduated from. But when it got time to kind of like make that decision, I was like, no, like 100% Nebraska is the choice for me. It just kind of fit my personality in a way, and totally was the right decision for me. Yeah.
What about, like you said, it fits your personality? What is that personality of Nebraska that you're syncing up with?
Yeah, I think when I think of Nebraska, I definitely think of like super outgoing and like we are like the state school. So a lot of my friends have like come here from high school, but just like very outgoing, loud, I guess. I am loud. So definitely loud, just a little bit. But yeah, kind of that aspect. I don't know.
Okay, so Sami, now you spent some time in Arizona.
I did.
You hit the portal.
Yeah.
Why Nebraska?
Why Nebraska? Why not? So actually, it's so funny because when I got recruited, I couldn't even meet anyone. I couldn't say hi to anyone. So I got to FaceTime the coaches, and I actually texted my goalkeeper coach back when I was in the portal, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, like this team emailed me. I think I'm just gonna get on the call. Like, why not? Use it as leverage towards other schools that I was talking to."
So we were just the leverage piece.
No, I had other aspirations at the time, and yeah, so I got on the calls and I was, FaceTiming them, and I just found how genuine the coaches were, and you can just tell how much pride they put into recruiting each girl in their personality and who they are. So when I was starting to commit, I started actually like thoroughly enjoy talking to the coaches and getting to know them. I was like, wow, I need to actually make a, move and see what this place is about. So my mom and I drove up for literally 24 hours.
What time of year was it? Because that made that's a big deal.
That's a good point.
It was summer.
Thank God, yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you would have came in the winter, I don't know if you'd be here.
Probably not.
Yeah, that could be true. I'm not gonna lie, the winters are brutal. I'm from Texas, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I can't drive in the ice and snow. But back to that, my mom and I came out for
the summer.
24 hours, and I met, I want to say 3 or 4 of the girls at the time. Went to dinner with them, and my mom and I walked around and tried to get to know people. We met this like sweet little girl down in the Haymarket. Her name was Barbara, and
you still remember her? Okay.
Oh yeah, I remember because it's my grandmother's name. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is like not even a coincidence. So yeah, I wouldn't trade it for the world. It was probably the best experience, and I just committed without even getting to meet most of the people or the coaches, but after being in town and around everything, I could just tell how awesome this town was.
Thank God for, what was the name?
Barbara.
Barbara? I call sorry, Barbara. That's my,
Yeah,
I was going
shout
to
out
say,
to
it's
her.
a unique name, but Barbara sounds a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to her. Who knows? We had an integral role in getting to come down here. So what are your kind of thoughts of Lincoln so far? What are the things, whether obviously university facilities are great, but just outside in the Lincoln area, what are some of the things you really like?
I mean, there's always a lot to do.
You got a favorite food spot yet? And that goes for both of you guys.
Okay, you know what? There needs to be some more Mexican food, and it needs to be good.
I agree.
Because
I agree.
I will say, well, I can't compare it back home, but every time I go back home, all I do is eat Mexican food because it's so good, and barbecue, obviously. But yeah, that's all right. I've learned to love sushi, so blue sushi is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I like Tipsy Tina's. This, it's a solid place. I like Lead Belly's. I'll say those are like my top three.
Yeah, Lead Belly's good. Are you
haven't
picky
ventured
eater?
out.
Or either of you guys
No,
picky
I'm
eaters?
not.
Okay.
No, I'm pretty good about all.
You just like agave, but I will tell you,
Yeah.
us and like the rest of our team, much more activity people.
Okay, explain.
So our spot, if you say, well, I can't. I don't want to group in the whole team, but have you ever been to Playmore?
Where's it at?
It's like
You know what Denton is?
over yonder.
Just like
Over
go
there.
straight to Denton.
Okay.
It's over there.
I'm sure I walked.
Little dancing town.
Country
Like,
line dancing and swing dancing.
Oof.
You should go.
Oh.
I'm from Northeast Nebraska. I got
It's so
I got
fun.
a lot of
Okay.
that going on.
Love
That was like all my prom dances, country
Really?
music. Yes.
That's so fun.
I mean, it maybe would have been fun, but like I think it's kind of one of those things where you grow up listening to
That's
my
valid.
parents listen to country radio
Oh yeah.
24/7. So I just kind of grew up so tired of it. So when I
Okay.
showed
No
up to my school dances, I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!" So I just
This
can't
is
get
a
away from
joke.
it. What does your guys' music genre look like?
Country.
Country?
All country. I don't listen to anything else.
Ah. See, I'm kind of an oldies gal
Okay.
mixed with some
Yeah.
country since getting to college. I wasn't at all in high school. I really hated country. But
Oh.
country, oldies, like I love Elvis. Elvis is my guy. And then honestly, some like Spanish music. It's a wide variety, but it keeps me on my toes.
That's curveball. How'd you get?
Yeah.
Where did the Spanish music come from?
Okay. Well, in high school, did you guys have to take Spanish?
No.
Okay. Well, in my 4 years there, shout out to all my Spanish teachers, there would be like, we would learn a song a week. And like, to like practice listening to the music and like understanding the lyrics. And then I was like, wow, I like love these songs. So I know, and they weren't that good. Like, I'm making them sound like they were awesome. Like they were like horrible school songs, but I think they're so fun, and started a playlist, and yeah, still rocking with it.
I like some Enrique Iglesias.
Exactly. Come on.
Absolutely.
Like Bad Bunny, like yeah, good beats.
Nothing wrong with being a little bit more culturally diverse in the music. So
Yeah.
like, before you go on to the pitch, just for our listeners so they can recognize the name of the show,
Okay.
Is that what you're listening to? You listen to Spanish music, or what is it? Do you still listen to country? Or if you're Sammy, like, does that change at all? Like,
Oh, I'm superstitious. I listen to the same playlist,
Mm.
typically the same order of
Oh.
music.
Oh,
Kind of
man.
bad at it to memorize.
Like songs
Yeah.
in order.
Yeah, I
Oh.
started off slow with doing this.
Okay.
What comes,
Yeah.
and then I
Intro.
make it into like some Morgan Wallen. Okay,
What's like the song right before you go out?
those have been juggling around.
Oh.
Okay, because I typically stick to country,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll end with like "Welcome to the Show" or "Fuss and Fight."
Okay.
Or
then,
yeah,
welcome to the show.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
right? I'm like, all right, let's
Come
go.
on.
Let's do
Walk
this.
me out.
Absolutely. But lately, I've been kind of listening to some good, like Thunderstruck or Crazy Train.
I like
Yeah,
that. I like
Trying to
that.
get me going crazy.
Those are good.
I
Yeah.
get in a different mindset.
Yeah. Totally. I'm
So how superstitious are you? You said you're pretty superstitious with the music playlist, but like, does your day have to start the same?
It starts off the same way every day. Every
Okay.
day.
Well, break it down. Like, that sounds like a
same thing.
strenuous routine.
No.
No, you're a lot more chill about it. I always feel crazy. Like my hair has to be the same way.
Really?
So like,
Wait, like throughout
same
the day?
meals and everything?
Yeah, like I wake up in the morning. I have to wash my hair. I have to shower.
You do shower all the time.
It's just a good thing.
Away trips, we're like eating pregame, and down comes Sammy, like hair soaking wet, and we're like, what is that?
Yeah, absolutely. I have to shower. And then I typically, okay, they kind of range when we're on a Thursday versus a Sunday.
Yeah, and the way trips, that has
Because when
to
I have
mix
class,
it up.
yes, then I have to go do prehab and stuff.
Okay.
That's like, I'll always do contrast and then boots. Always. And go to class, eat.
Are you wearing the same thing?
Yes,
Give us a visual.
I always wear a red shirt on Mondays.
Okay.
Red shirt, red socks. And I wear the same.
Is that true? I'm sorry, you can fact check. Have you?
Well, now I'm going to be fact checking.
Yeah.
Just to make sure.
I typically wear red spandex, red sports bra. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Go big red, am I right?
I know. I gotta go big or go home. It's horrible.
I love it.
I know. It's all right, though. It makes it interesting, I guess, for me. And then, gosh, I'm trying to think about it.
It's probably just muscle memory at this point. You don't think about
I know,
it.
I don't really think about it.
So Sarah, you're not superstitious at all?
No, not when it
Okay.
comes to that stuff. The only thing that I keep consistent is I wear a bow. And like I've worn bow for every like soccer game I've ever played in.
Is that more for cosmetic or just superstitious?
See, my mom just thought it was cute when I was little. And then something I continue. So I feel like that's more of a superstitious thing.
I guess,
Yeah. Because
I don't always put that in like tradition just because it's
Yeah,
like
tradition. I like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it
That's better.
superstitious. It's just like you've had it forever, so why?
Yeah,
pass
I'm
it
like,
on?
I just think it's like, I'm like, oh, go back to when I started playing soccer. Why I love it.
My mom always had a bow in my hair.
Really?
Yeah.
I did too.
I was so tomboy. Half the time I was wearing boys' clothes. My mom was like, let's spice it up.
Throwing a bow. Love it.
And again, if you guys want to join the show, 402-464-5685. That is the Starter Heyman text line, as well as we're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo channel 951. Great way to put a face to the voice if you choose to do so that way. So soccer, obviously, not always the most popular sport, depending on kind of where you grow up. But you said you kind of grew up in an area where soccer was king. Was that like kind of what everyone was watching, or where did that rank?
No, no one in my family played soccer. Actually, one of my cousins did, but she lives in St. Louis, so it wasn't like a huge deal. I just got thrown into soccer because everyone around me was playing it. My brothers, one of them was a motocross racer, and the other one played football.
That's a mixed bag.
I know. I come from a racing family.
Really?
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really watch soccer, but I love some good Supercross.
Don't let our coaches hear.
Good NASCAR, I'll watch that any day.
Love it.
Yeah.
But in Texas, soccer is pretty big.
No,
Like,
it's
I remember going to like the travel tournaments and like we have. Is it like the Gallagher team?
Okay, you're right.
FC Gallagher. Is that a thing?
FC Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had FC Dallas Solar.
See,
Dallas
you knew
Stars.
when you were playing the Texas teams because they were
We
big.
did. I didn't really realize that growing up.
Right.
North Texas was pretty big with soccer.
Okay.
Obviously, I didn't know that when I was little, and then I got into it, and it became big fast. I mean, you'd go to club. I started club when I was 7 or 8 years old, and then it started getting so serious so fast. I mean, we were doing like 3 practices a week.
Yeah, I
and,
don't doubt that.
If you weren't there, you were. Yeah.
No, not
We had to try out when we were that young. It was crazy.
So what age did you guys kind of start to realize that I have a chance of not only going to college to play this sport, but possibly even D1 and maybe even a Power 5?
Oof.
That's a loaded question.
Yeah.
We can break it down into layers.
Yeah, I feel like maybe. Okay, so like in 8th grade when I talked about like going to those ID camps, like Nebraska was there, Creighton was there, like Iowa State typically went, and then some like smaller schools, and it was like after talking to some of them after the course of the camp, so like they could like pull you aside after and like have a few words. I know like the rules had like
Always talk.
yeah.
That's like they give you the little rundown.
Right, the rundown, like, oh, we're interested. No, actually, but just by, like them initiating those conversations, like it kind of got me thinking that, like, oh, like these are schools like in the Big East, Big Ten, like that are talking to me and interested. Like, what is that going to look like? But I feel like for me, like it was almost like a motivational thing because if they saw me then and they liked me, it was like, okay, how do I get them to like me then my freshman, sophomore, junior?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it could like progress. But I feel like it was in 8th grade when I was like, okay, like they're talking to me, they're interested, like I'm gonna try to run with that.
Yeah, I think it was a little different. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I always wanted to play college soccer growing up, but obviously I came in as a goalie when I was a sophomore in high school.
Mhm.
So I knew that I wanted to play college soccer, right? And then that like took a toll because I'm restarting, not completely, but restarting a lot of things. I found a goalkeeper coach. I actually was at ID camp in Arkansas, and the coach was like, "You need to meet up with this guy, Matt Montaigne. Love you, shout out." um, yeah, yeah. So I reached out to him and started training with him. And I remember my very first session. I said, I want to play at a D1 school. Like I want to get that good. And now looking back, I was so bad. I mean, I'm being harsh on myself. I wasn't terrible, but I was not.
There must have been at least like the raw talent
Yeah,
that they saw.
yeah. I just couldn't even jump off the ground. Like I tried. I mean, there was practices where I would go like he would have me run, jump, and I wouldn't jump. I was too scared. I would like drive my knees in the ground. It was so funny. But yeah. So that moment, I knew I wanted to. So I knew I had to put the work in, and things started to become a reality when I started getting looks around my junior year. But I think I always knew, and I always knew that I was deep down like I was going to, and I was going to find a way. But when it was like really became a reality was probably my junior year.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. And especially with the soccer recruiting process, I'm always kind of curious how that works out. So we might dive on the next segment, but we do have to go to break here. Again, we got Sammy and Sarah from Nebraska Soccer in studio here with us. I'm Harrison running the ones and twos, 402-464-5685. You guys want to join in? We'll throw it to break and catch you guys on the other side.
After a long, hot summer, are you ready for fall? What about your home? Is your heating system ready for cooler temperatures ahead? Be sure and call Bryant for your fall heating check. No matter what brand of equipment you own, Bryant's trained technician will thoroughly clean and inspect your furnace or heat pump to make sure you stay warm and comfortable. Call today to schedule your home heating check. 467-1111. Bryant's Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. We do whatever it takes.
So, I just got the State Farm personal price plan on my car insurance. So you told your agent you play the bagpipes for your dog? What? No, I didn't get that personal. My agent just helped me create an affordable price just for me. Okay, let me show you what I've been working on. Hey, Buster!
Call your local State Farm agent Vinny Kreekak at 402-474-1173.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
It takes a great game plan to win a football game each week. And right now, it's time to plan a trip to get a new car at Mullen Motors. Just like on the football field, there's a wall of defense on the way to Mullen Motors. 48th Street is under construction from Layton all the way to Fort Husker Highway. But the lot at Mullen Motors is full of tons of great vehicles to drive home this fall for the ultimate touchdown. Mullen Motors, still open through road construction at 48th and Walker.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
If you struggle with joint pain, there's good news. You don't need surgery to get back to full health. Southpoint Medical and Aesthetics offers breakthrough non-surgical options for treatment of moderate to severe joint pain. Our patients experience little to no downtime from our procedures, and the results are remarkable. They've had 14 years of successful treatment with patients from 35 states because of an effective word-of-mouth traffic. Learn more about how you can get lasting results for joint pain today at southpointmedical.com or call 402-323-8400. Brown Shoe Fit has all types of shoes for you to excel this fall.
and this place seemed like the right fit.
Yeah. I think when I was trying to figure out like what school fit me the best, I know like when I went on my visit, like we got to meet with some of the players there.
Mhm.
And I remember just like asking them a lot of questions and like some like about the coaches to make sure, because it does play. I know like you're told like don't commit to a school because of the coach, but it truly plays like such a big part. And like learning from the players and from the people that knew the coaches, whatever they were telling you was the case. Like they weren't. I mean, it was just black and white, like truly. And in terms of soccer, the way John like talks about player development, I think was what kind of sold me. Because I was like, I don't want to just go to school to play soccer at schools. That would be like I'm trying to play to get better. And like he's been here, he started the program, like he knows what he's doing. So I had a lot of faith in that, a lot of trust in that.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any bad recruiting stories? Leave the coach's name out and the school's name out. But I know I've talked to certain athletes, and this one athlete, the coach was begging them, but they called them the wrong name the entire visit. And then when I got to the end, even though on the paper it had her right name, kept calling her the wrong. It wasn't even like his name's Tom. I called him Tom. It was just a completely different name completely. So if you guys had any recruiting stories where either A, you just weren't getting the respect that you thought you were deserved, you know, if they're recruiting you and you can't remember the name, it's not really a good sign of respect. You guys have anything like that?
I'm gonna let Sam take this question away.
I'm like trying to think about all my, because gosh, I went through so much.
We're good as long as you don't use names in schools. We'll
Yeah.
but I'm always curious.
The respect thing for me was, I think, the only part that I experienced throughout the recruiting process. But yeah, there was like a school I was talking to, and I ended up telling them that I was going to go to Nebraska, and they didn't take it the greatest.
Oh wow,
Yeah, they weren't the nicest after. I
that's
don't
always
really know
horrible.
what to say,
That's
but
always horrible.
Why is it like it's like sending like a
it's
breakup
so
text
awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
to like
Oh my
a
God.
school?
It's so stressful too. Like I literally am freaking out, calling my mom. Oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I'm like sweating. My hands are sweating.
Uh-huh.
I'm about to dial this.
Well, how old were you at the time?
Oh well, this is when I was transferring, so I was 19.
19. Still, it's
But
just kind of the idea
even
that a university
high
is
school.
waiting an angry letter.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, it's
when you're doing it in
horrifying.
high school.
Like
That was
not only did you just commit to a school that like you know you don't know until you get there like what it's going to be like, so you just commit to that school and then you have to tell every other school that's ever been interested in you, sorry, not going.
you're praying.
Yeah, but a lot of them honestly took it nicely, but there were some that like I didn't hear back from, which is fine. But it's hard like when you've built that personal relationship with them and then you know
Drop the mic.
You did later when it's back.
yeah.
Mic drop.
Yeah, that would be kind of a bummer because
Yeah.
you feel like there's that genuine.
Right.
And in some ways, it's like, well, I'm glad I didn't pick you.
Exactly.
If
Oh
I'm
my gosh.
not there
Yeah.
at that program, you don't care about me.
That's
So you
actually
never
such a
actually
good
had any
idea.
body and interest in my development.
Yeah.
I'm always curious because there's so many stories like that. Do you ever have any programs or coaches that said, "Hey, we got this scholarship you got to sign today. If you don't sign today, it's gone." So
Yeah.
that one I hear a lot too, which I'm not going to say the schools are wrong. I don't really know how that works for them, if that's true, but that's another really high pressure situation. Put student athletes into maybe committing before they're
Yeah.
even sure.
Yeah, there was one time, it was probably my freshman year, and I don't even know what exactly the recruiting rules are today. I feel like they change so frequently
Yeah.
like, during the course of both of our
You can't
recruiting.
even
Yeah,
Commit to like junior year.
no, it's like you
So they
can't
don't
commit to a certain
talk
time. You
you.
can't go to visit a certain time or whatever. But I was talking to the school, and I was trying to figure out a time that I could go out there and like see the campus because I didn't want to commit to a school that I hadn't been to. I hadn't like got the feel for or whatever. I talked to coaches. I knew the coaches from like I knew one of them from like ODP, so I knew like the kind of person she was or whatever. And a new recruiting rule came out that was like, okay, you can't talk to coaches for a year until like it might have been like to your sophomore year, like just talk to like you couldn't speak to them for like a whole year or something. And like the week before that, like I just got kind of like bombarded with like text calls being like, hey, like we like want you to commit, like as you know, like the recruiting rules like coming out or whatever. And I had made it clear, I was like, and I'm not going to commit until I go there. And they didn't take that the greatest. They kind of like didn't leave me hanging, but the way we kind of ended terms right before I cut off, because I couldn't talk to them. Right, so I was like, I was going to make that deadline.
So awkward.
Yeah, but it was really awkward. I felt bad, but
Yeah, for me, I think the transfer portal was the hardest part because I had to make. I was on my way home from Arizona. I drove like 16 hours by myself.
Was it a wave of text, emails when you hit the portal, or was
Yeah.
it slow, kind of trickle?
It trickled and then it was like bam. I like was kind of overwhelmed. Very overwhelmed because it all happened in literally 2 weeks.
Yeah, because as soon as I know a lot of for football, you see it all the time. They
Yeah.
all get that message.
Yeah.
So and so hit the portal.
Yeah, so I went in at the end of the year. So it was obviously I got to go home and get ready for season. And I'm sitting there, I have no clue where I'm going to go. I have 2 weeks to make decisions. And then I, continue to talk to coaches for about a week. And then they were all like, we need to know in a week. And so then I was sweating. I was nervous.
then they're sweating.
What was the scariest part about the portal? Because I like the transfer portal because if coaches can leave and go on a win, and also get paid millions of dollars on top of it, doesn't seem fair for the student athletes not to have that same advantage. So when you were hopping in the portal, though, there's obviously unknowns. It was kind of the scariest part, and that day you decided it, what was running through your head?
Wow. Yeah, it was scary. I think the unknown is what's so scary. Just knowing that you have no clue where you're going to go, and you could be so far from home. Because I'm a homebody. I wanted to go close to home.
Mm-hmm.
My mom, she already told me before I was like starting to recruit. She was like, let's draw a 5-hour radius
Love that.
around home, and let's stay on that. My dream school was actually University of Arkansas, but that didn't play out, and that's okay. But yeah, I think the unknown was what was so scary about it, and yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I definitely see that. It's always crazy what the players now. I just feel like so much of it too is the NCAA just dragging their feet on all of this, and now it's like a whirlwind. It's fair game for the student athletes, but there's still no real set organization.
Yeah, it's chaos.
It is.
It is. I mean, I was sending emails myself. I remember laying in bed and just not going to copy, paste, change the name, send the same video. Yeah, and you hear back sometimes, literally the next morning from a few different schools, and then you're getting on Zoom calls all day and trying to hammer those in and get it done as fast as possible so you can commit before other people do. There was one school that I called and I was thinking about committing there, and they were like, "We actually just committed to this girl," and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I need to start moving quickly because this is stressful." But
The word committed is just so
it's cheesy.
well, it's just
Are you really committed? I met a girl.
are you verbally committed?
Yeah.
That was always the thing. Are you verbally committed or have you
you were
signed?
cool when you were verbally committed on
you
your
were
Instagram bio.
verbally committed.
Yeah. I remember this one girl when I was at physical therapy when I was young. I sprained my ankle, not that big deal. Yeah. And I was there and I remember this girl had committed to 3 big schools. I want to say it was IT, Tech, and A&M. She committed all 3. Verbally committed to all 3 of them.
All right.
Yeah. And she had to go and somehow figure her way through. But
Yeah. Don't apply today, I don't think.
It took me a long time to figure out what the hell a verbal commit was. I'll be honest.
Oh,
I was like, does that hold? Anyway,
Honestly,
Not
I
really.
didn't know.
Yeah,
No.
it doesn't. It's because you see
'Cause
just players break it all the time.
I did.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
it's one of those things.
He's
where
like,
it's
"Honestly,
it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's a verbal commitment. It's nothing signed.
I'll go.
Nothing.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I'll go."
it's kind of an idea. It's I'm verbally this is where I'm thinking right now.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I always see it.
But I feel like in the past, it was you verbally commit to a school. I think they could not offer you, but you could talk about it and you could say, yeah, I plan on going there. But I've heard of stories of people, I think probably more football, but posting commitment posts just to get schools to reach out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's smart
So smart.
because you see it all the time.
Yeah.
Oh man, Iowa offered our in-state kid. We don't want Iowa to have our in-state kid. We better send an offer
Right.
Yeah.
because you see all the time, like schools just kind of wait, and then
Yep.
they start getting offers. Like you said, you start seeing flooded.
Yeah.
So when you guys start first getting your offers, did you see that same kind of thing? It's like I got my first offer, and then all of a sudden
Yeah.
it's like, whoa,
Mhm. A
here
little
comes
bit.
everyone else.
It does,
I feel like it
because-
was all around the same time,
Yeah.
honestly.
The leverage that you can use towards
Mhm.
other schools is really big. Once you
Mhm.
get like your first big school,
Yeah.
you can use that towards other schools, and then they're like, all right, there's got to be something in this person, you know?
It's got to be decent.
There's something there. But you know, I will say it's crazy because the way we are recruiting versus like football, where football they all post their commit or their offers every time they get
Yeah,
an
their
offer. They're
offers.
posting them and they're showing them on the media. Yeah, but I mean, for us, we mostly don't say a word. You know, so
Yeah, I don't know why that is though. Like,
I think a lot of it now is just, and well, I mean, it was a lot more popular before NIL, but I think now it's even doubled because
mhm.
as soon as it's like, hey, I'm committed to Nebraska, you want to get all those Nebraska businesses
Right.
start being like, oh, hey, you're a 4 or 5 star, whatever. Let's
Yeah.
set some deals up for NIL.
Mhm.
So that's kind of always, I'm assuming why. Free clout. Otherwise, I guess, you get
True.
some followers. Do you post anything when you committed to Nebraska?
Yeah, I did. I posted like on Instagram and like Twitter.
Did you?
no, I just waited until I got my photos for
this is a
media because I
question
was
For Sarah, did you get
Okay.
an influx of followers? Or, I guess, I'm not sure how that worked. Did you get quite a big bump in followers after?
Not when I committed. I would say more so when I got here.
Okay.
But definitely like a lot more activity on that post compared to my others, if that makes sense. Like more likes or like sends or whatever.
Yeah.
But
shout out, go follow us on Instagram.
What's your handles? That's your platform. And now.
give it to me, Sam. Come on.
Samantha.Hawk.
Your Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you spell your last name for any of those listening?
Oh yeah, it's Hauk.
Hauk.
But you say it like the bird. We've got another girl on the team. She's from Germany. Her name is Nicola, but it's Hauk. She says it weird. That's what I think.
Pronunciation.
Yeah.
Glad an index. If you ever bring it out for a guest, I would call. I would have said it wrong.
I know. And the announcers mess it up sometimes, and they call my last name like hers, and I'm like, you know what? That was so kind of you to try, but like next time, let's get it right.
Well, hopefully they're listening and they can figure that out for you guys going forward. But nonetheless, we do got to go ahead and take our final break. This is On and Off the Pitch with Sammy and Sarah. I'm Harrison running the 1s and 2s. We'll throw the break here and catch you guys on the other side.
New flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Get all of your favorite restaurants delivered with menudelivered.com. One place for ordering delicious appetizers, refreshing salads, hot entrees, fresh sandwiches, and more. From Venue Restaurant Lounge, Piedmont Bistro, and all Lincoln Good Sense Subs locations. Download our phone app to earn rewards on all of your carryout and delivery orders. Available on Apple and Android, just search for the Pillar Restaurants app. That's the Pillar Restaurants app. Download today.
Warning, this ad will use the F word often, so listen at your own risk. Family fun, fun with friends, freedom from fuel, free Yeti cooler, free driveway delivery. Hey, this is Carl from Nebraska Golf Carts and Price Right Auto, and we have all-electric and Kelly fun carts, and they are a blast. Plenty of fun colors, and these street legal carts come with 4 and 6 passenger. Tell us you heard us on the ticket and get a free Yeti cooler with your purchase. Hurry, supply is limited. Check them out at 1235 Westo in Lincoln or NebraskaGolfCarts.com.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Repeat after me. I will not touch the fuse box. I will probably not touch the fuse box. Sim, do you remember what happened last time? Yeah, I remember. What happened? Half of the city block
lost power. And my chicken condo went haywire.
That's right. The chickens ran wild. So what do we do instead?
Call Joe at Ambition Electric and let him handle everything. Look, saved on speed dial.
Ambition Electric, 402-217-3415. Or online at ambitionelectric.com.
Join Planet Fitness now and get the PF Black Card for only $24.99 a month. You'll enjoy an upgraded experience with tons of perks.
Like access to more than 2,000 locations worldwide?
Yep.
And massage chairs?
Yes.
Can I bring a friend every time?
Sure.
Can my friend be a horse?
Nay. Sorry. Get the PF Black Card. Feel spectacular. Only $24.99 a month. Our most popular membership, the PF Black Card, is your ticket to getting all the perks. Join today. See Club for details.
It's football season in Nebraska, and that means coaches are busy making game plans. I'm Eric Hagan with Liberty Law Group. Teams make game plans because no two opponents are the same. At Liberty Law, we understand no two cases are the same. Whether facing a DUI, criminal charge, or you were injured and it wasn't your fault, we tailor our legal game plan to meet your unique needs. Liberty Law's relentless trial attorneys serve all of Nebraska. To learn more, visit libertylawnebraska.com. That's libertylawnebraska.com.
Tailored Lights is your go-to local manufacturer and installer of the best landscape lighting. Tailored Lights is excited to highlight the architecture of your home or business and provide a warm environment that feels safe. And for those outside the Lincoln area, they do ship across the country and are happy to work with anyone near or far with lights anywhere from 18 inches to 110 inches. Enhance your curb appeal with an exquisite Tailored Light today. Call 402-432-2572 or go to tailoredlights.com.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. SEC's Career Days will provide you with a hands-on experience as you learn alongside SEC faculty and students and industry partners. Explore careers in healthcare, construction, ag, automotive, manufacturing, engineering, power sports, transportation, or technology. See your options at southeast.edu/visit SEC. SEC, your path to possible.
Fall has arrived, and it's the perfect weather for the DIY market to listen to the game while building a deck. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams, from treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and Decorators Composite Deck. They offer advice from real deck professionals to give you proper guidance and to make your project go smoothly. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671 or go online at deckcityne.com.
When it comes to tackling your fall projects, having the right equipment can make a huge difference. At Sunbelt Rentals, they have an extensive line of tools and equipment to help complete any job, from lawn and landscape equipment to hand tools, pressure washers, portable generators for you tailgaters, and much more. Sunbelt Rentals makes it easy to get what you need when you need it. Drop in to see the experts at 5450 Alville Road in Lincoln, or visit sunbeltrentals.com today to learn how Sunbelt Rentals can make it happen for you.
Guys, you've heard me tell you all about Farrell's Extreme Body Shape thing. But it's not just me. Folks all over town are having success with the FXB program. Guys like Gary, who just finished up his own 10-week challenge.
Yeah, Mark. After having a knee replacement in March, I was looking for a way to get back into shape. The workouts are fine. The atmosphere is a total blast. And I've lost 17 pounds since starting in July.
The next Farrell's 10-week challenge begins on October 7th. And ticket listeners get $150 off enrollment. Just head to theticketfm.com. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
Back to the Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, well, welcome back in to the final segment of On and Off the Pitch with Sarah and Sammy, both on the Nebraska soccer team. And again, 402-464-5685. If you guys want to chime in, feel free to do so. Streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo channel 951. And if you're just tuning in, this is a new show and you're wondering, you can't just go to YouTube, rewind it, and get the full show there in case you missed anything. But we got a little bit of time here. Obviously, I want to talk about your upcoming game here, see if we can bump up those attendance numbers for anyone listening. But if people want to find you, want to try to help out NAL, buy your jersey, where can they go find your social media handles?
All right, my Instagram, SS Sarah, and then Weber with 3 R's. Hopefully it'll, Did you say yours, or you say
Yeah, mine's Samantha Dog. Hawk.
Mhm.
H-A-U-K.
Yeah, that's important. 'Cause a lot of people are just gonna go for the bird,
I
the
know.
hawk.
Yeah. We also have like our NIL store through Nebraska. Like if you like literally Google NIL store Nebraska and type in our names, like you can get like Nebraska soccer shirts with like our names and numbers on it.
PBR.
Do you
Look
guys
at red.
like ever have like? Because I've looked on there before. Sometimes there's some really unique requests. I saw like a Nebraska punter ask like a ridiculous amount of dollars. I think it was just for fun.
Really?
I'm doing something. It was something really random. I think it was just like say happy birthday. And he knew it was like a joke. But do you guys like ever have like requests for like audio, like say happy birthday, or how does that work with NIL? Is that like they bring that up to you?
Yeah, well, we use it's an app called Open Doors, and like people can reach out to us on it, and we can also reach out to people. So it's just like the mediator in terms of like communication. But like they can request like, hey, like, would you mind wishing my daughter good luck in her game? And they'll put like a money amount, and then you have to like go in there, submit it, and like check that you'll do it first, and then you have to submit it. Open Doors approves of it, discloses the activity, and then you'll get paid through there.
Do you guys ever think about doing like a soccer camp or like training, like goalkeeper stuff? I feel like that'd be
I
a lot of people want to do that.
Yeah, like in the summers, and like because I'm from Gretna, so I'm hoping to like probably go back there next summer.
I could do like a shooting, finishing.
Yeah, I would love that. Sam. Let's make it happen.
I'm down.
Okay, let's do it. Okay.
Plans happening live on air. I like it. So real quick here, we got a little bit of time here. Tell us about your next game, and you got some deals going on for that game as well.
Give him the deal, Sam. Give him the deal.
$2 hot dogs. Go get your glizzy. And, $2 popcorn, and if you are, crazy, you can get a soccer Herbie magnet.
That's gonna go. That's gonna go crazy,
right?
We're wild at Hibner.
Yeah,
the Herbie magnet.
I was thinking about going, and then I heard the magnet was gonna be there, and I was like, yeah, can't miss that.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. No, but we play. So home game Thursday, Barbara Hibner Stadium. We play Rutgers.
The big game.
How's Rutgers program?
Rutgers program is very good.
Exactly.
Always consistent.
Yeah.
So that's why we need the fan support. So again, if you guys can definitely check those guys out, go watch the game, and that is Thursday. What time?
7 p.m.
7 p.m. And yeah, get a glizzy there as well. I was just gonna call them hot dog. But nonetheless, we'll wrap it up here. And again, definitely go out there Thursday, 7 o'clock. Support the Husker women's soccer team. They can use the sport, especially you're like this. It's a good reason to support them. They're doing well. So we'll wrap it up here. And again, thank you to Sammy and Sarah for hopping in on the debut of On and Off the Pitch. I'm Harrison running the ones and twos. We'll see you guys next week.